Welcome back to Sunrise. Now the National Child Committee Month will be commemorating Child Month 2024. Several activities in May under the theme Stand Up, Speak Out, Protect the Rights of Our Children. Joining us this morning is Chair Emeritus of the National Child Month Committee, Dr. Pauline Mullins, and Chair Nicole Patrick Shaw. Welcome to Sunrise. You see what I did there? Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. Okay, so we have to start with the importance of what you are doing and why it's so important for us to recognize this, especially in Child's Month.
Why it's so important too?
To recognize,
Child Month?
Yes.
Oh, definitely. It's important because as we recognize in our country, lots of things are happening to our children.
Mm-hmm.
Child Month came from the concept that we need to highlight what's going on with our children. And so annually, this committee, we get together, highlight a theme that is reflecting the plight of the Jamaicans' children.
Yeah, let's talk about
And so
that
this is why we exist. We also exist to ensure that the month of May is recognized by everyone as Child Month, and to remind adults that the month doesn't belong to the child, but the month is about the child. It's about our children. So we focus a little bit more, although we do it all year through, but we focus a little bit more on our children. What's happening to them? What can we do as adults? How can we help them? How can we move them from where they are and get them to the place where they ought to be?
So the Speak Up, Speak Out campaign, can we talk a little bit more about that theme?
Okay, so the theme is stand up, speak out, protect the rights of the child. So we wanted to focus on, we notice now in the public that there's an increase in abuse against the children. We've seen the records from the Children's Registry with the increased numbers. We've seen the report, survey, and coming from UNICEF, the cluster survey, indicating that there is also an increase. So what we're begging the community to do is to stand up, talk about, raise awareness about what is happening in your community, empower your children to understand their rights, collaborate on any initiatives that you might have at the national or even the community level to talk about what we can do to alleviate the problems, educate persons within the community about what, because when you talk about the rights of the child, most people is like, what, rights? When since picnic get rights? So we have to understand that there are participation rights, there are provision rights, and there are protection rights. And we have to understand what these clusters are in terms of bringing the information across in a way that everybody can understand. A child has a right to education. So not because you want to sell your stock, they must come with you. They have a right to education. The UNESCO talks about, and UNICEF talks about, the list of rights going to 54 of them. So it is for us to understand what these are and to act on it.
And listening to you speak about and highlighting all these different rights that we should be aware of, I can't help but think, Dr. Pauline Mullins, Chair Emeritus, you have served for so many years, so you would have witnessed so many changes over us recognizing Child's Month. What are some of those changes that you observe? And tell us about your experience with those changes.
Okay, so going towards answering that question, I want to say that our children are very unaware of the rights that they have. They don't even know it belongs to them. In my era, and I thought that's where you were going, in my era growing up as a child, children must be seen and not heard. And a child will come with the very, very important information, but they are told to shut up and sit down. What did that do for us? It caused us to grow up with insecurity. We lack self-confidence. We want to speak out. Many of us are where we are today because somebody mentored us, because somebody didn't look at who we are, but they saw who we would become, and they mentored us. So over the years, I have come to recognize that there are a lot of changes. Some of them positive, some are negative. We have worked hard carrying out our mandate to ensure that we sensitize the nation about the problems that our children are having. But if you ask me if the problems are solved, I'm sorry. No.
No,
And we
far
all
away.
recognize
Yes,
it.
yes.
And a big part of it is that we have handed our children over to social media. We have handed our children over to the internet. The internet is teaching our children. They are telling them things. And we have lacked that skill of passing on culture, passing on beliefs, passing on religious education. So our children, they're a mess. And I mean, yes, we have to blame the adults for a start. We are not the only one, it's not the only, but for a start, we have to look back at how we as adults have helped and mentored our children.
I can hear the passion. NCMC, the work for NCMC is cut out. It's relevant and it's necessary. Thank you so much for coming and sharing with us.
Before we go, can we just quickly mention National Children's Day? Because this is so important. We want everyone, it's going to be the third Friday, I think that's the 17th. Third Friday, right? This is when we honor and celebrate our children the same way they celebrate us, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Teachers Day, Nurses Day. We want our children to feel that love. And, you know, you don't have to be about a gift, but just let them know, I love you. I love
Put down the phone for the
we're yellow. That's the thing.
And we're bright yellow. And we're bright yellow.
We got it.
So
we got
even if you don't have a child, you can support a child.
I love that.
And make sure CVM talk about it.
Thank you so much for your passion and your work. I wish we could talk for the rest of the day. And we will during the break. So thank you for being here. That was Dr. Pauline Mullins, Chair Emeritus of National Child Month Committee, and Chair Nicole Patrick Shaw. On the other side of the break, it's Parents Happy Hour. We'll be right
Parents
back.
Happy Hour.
I love this.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Boys and girls, listen up. You can be anything in the world, and God we trust. And